Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another Conquest video. Now Conquest 11 is coming back starting in less than 24 hours from now. So in this video I just want to talk through some of the changes that SWGOH announced in two of their game updates we had recently, as well as show you a couple of new features I added to my SWGOH for Life tool that will make hopefully getting that max rewards a bit easier for you. There'll be a link in the description below to my SWGOH for Life, so go ahead and check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But now let's just get started with the first changes here. They'll be making changes to the merchant and data disk node locations. So previously in Conquest number 10, straight after the mini boss battle, you had to choose between the merchant and data disk node. So what SWGOH said that they will do for Conquest 11 is replace that merchant node with another data disk node, so you will no longer be forced to choose either or, and then the merchant node will be moved further down the sector. So we'll see how that plays out when Conquest 11 kicks in. And then we've got as well some welcome change to the lower GP players, because they will be reverting the cost there for the battles for easy and normal mode back to 15 energy, whereas the hard mode will be unchanged at 20 energy. And then we also have some changes here from the latest update notes. So they're just confirming it is starting on 6th of December, which is tomorrow. Anyway, if you go into the game, tap there on the table for the Galactic War, you will already see that it is starting in less than 24 hours. Again, this change that they will be making, it will make some of the mini boss and final boss battles a little bit easier, because they will be reducing the over prepared modifiers. So we've got changes to the mini boss Bo-Katan, so that's the sector 4 mini boss, and then Han, so that's the final boss in sector 3, and then both sector 5 mini boss and final boss battles there looks like will become a little bit easier. So definitely nice change there from their part. And there was as well some fixes here, so let's just go through. So there we go, we got fixed an issue with the Conquest feat, striking back to properly count units defeated by rebel fighters. I mean, this was totally expected. We've all discovered that you were basically credited for this rebel fighters feat, even though your rebel fighters didn't make the kills. So now we'll have to do it the proper way. So something to look out for when you're going for this rebel fighter feat. There's well made some changes to the couple of modifiers here, so maybe these are the modifiers they were mentioning in the updated notes, that they will be a little bit making it easier. They didn't exactly specify what the changes to these modifiers are. Then we also got here changes to Vitality and Voluntary Vanguard to ensure the strongest ally is given the marked effect. This many of you have reported when you were trying to do those boss battles where you wanted to put their mark over on Malak, even though that he was the strongest, he wasn't getting applied. So looks like this has been fixed, so great to see that. However, the most update here to note is this one right here, because it's relating to Perseverance data disk. Now if you need a reminder what Perseverance data disk was before, let me just go ahead and show it here on my SWGOH for Life website. So Perseverance disk, anytime the units use an ability during their turn, they call themselves to an assist. So basically everybody were double tapping, calling themselves to an assist, which was really good. However, there were certain scenarios where this was broken. For example, you went into the raid's ultimate and this then broke her ultimate, that once she unloaded it, she did no damage. There was also some glitches with Beskar Mandalorian as well. When he went in his poop stance as well, it was the same thing. And of course, with Vader, when you were in Merciless, as well, it interrupted his Merciless bonus turns as well. So there were some issues here. So looks like in order to address those issues, they changed this disk. Obviously this is a bit misleading, because they're not only updating the data disk description. If this is true, then they're also basically changing drastically how this disk works, because now allies will be only called to assist again if they already assist. So this means when it's your turn, you will not be getting double taps. When you're counter-attacking, again, no double taps. This only will happen on the assists. So whichever units will assist, they will basically assist twice. That's how I read this. Obviously we'll need to see how it works in practice, but just in case you really go into the Conquest and suddenly you're saying, oh, what's going on here, this is because they changed significantly how this disc works. So let's keep an eye on it, how exactly it will work there. Alright, so this is all what's coming up from CG's end. As you can see, pretty much the same experience as Conquest 10, apart from making the boss battles, some of the boss battles a bit easier, but at the same time what it looks like is nerfing the Perseverance disc. Now let's move on onto the changes to my SWGOH for Life tool, which is mentioned before. I'd made some changes. Now if you need a reminder, here in the Conquest page you can see all the guides are created from Conquest number 10. Now bearing that Perseverance disc really is nerfed totally to the ground, as it looks like from the description, most of these will still work. If any of them obviously needs updating for Conquest 11, I'll go ahead and re-record that guide, but at least here you've got some starting point if you need a reminder of what to do for either sector, global or boss feats. Now let's moving up next, let's touch quickly on our command disk. Now this is kind of staying the same for now until we know how new disks operate. Again, if you need a reminder what disks to look out for, there's a nice list here. Definitely the Amplify Agony is a nice one. You definitely want to get multiple stacks, maybe get two or three of those. Same thing goes for the Zealous Ambition. You again want to pick out maybe two there as well, just so for some of those battles when you need some extra damage you can go ahead and do that. Then for the feats themselves, I added one small tweak here. So now for each of the feats I included how many key cards are being awarded for this feat. So that applies to all the sector feats as well. So you can just, just for your information, that when you're browsing feats and seeing what teams work for those feats, that you also get information on key cards. Alright, let's finally come back to the daily plan. This, from my experience, what I think is what everybody found the most helpful of. It's just kind of, suggestions to what teams to use every day in each sector to get that max rewards by the end of Conquest. Obviously this can be taken more as a guide. We all have different rosters, you have different mods and things like that, but at least it gives you a very good idea when it comes to how many battles with what kind of teams you should be doing every day, just to make sure that you don't get to the last day and you're still far away from that max rewards. So the biggest change basically I've done for daily plan was suggestions from a couple of community members. What they were asking for is to be able to mark battle as complete, so as they're going through the daily plan that they already know what battles have done. So what you gotta do now is, for example, I've done one bounty hunter battle, you just tap on complete button and then it will turn into check mark, so you only still need to see, I need to do a second battle as well. Same thing, you can just go playing through, and for example you do 2 clone battles in a row, boom, and this means that this feat for today, this team for today is complete. So it just kind of becomes a little bit grayed out, so when you're scrolling through you can quickly see, especially like maybe if you do a few battles in the morning, then wait for stamina to replenish, do a few battles in the afternoon, then like this you do not need to remember what battles you still have to do. And this goes for everything. You can just kind of go through as you're going along and keep tapping complete, and these guys will slowly get grayed out. Same thing for boss battles, you can just go complete and so on. So moving on, so as you'll see, most of the battles have 2 attempts, and then obviously boss battle have 1. However, as you're coming to the last day, you will have so on day 10 I recommend doing 10 battles. So as you're doing them, you're just marking in as complete. And all of this data, the changes that you make, will be saved in your web browser on your local storage. So even if you close this down and come back later, all the selections you made will still be there. Now in case you by mistake maybe click twice, if you can click again, it will become enabled again. So just a quick way of going back and reverting the changes in case you marked a battle by mistake to complete. Now another feedback as well I got was there's some people that like to print out or save to PDF the daily plan just to have it handy in a different format aside from my online tool. So I made a little bit the print format, if you do going to print, a little bit more printer friendly, just a little bit cleaner here. before, you know, some layouts was broken, and is no point really, to be honest here, to be showing like a YouTube buttons, because it's a PDF or a printed page, you know, you can't really click on it. So just cleaned up formatting here for the people that do want to print or save to PDF. And again, on this plan, you can again see the new complete there section, as well as grayed out that one have been complete. Alright guys, so that's all changes from CG end and from my end for the Conquest 11. Hope you will enjoy it. You know, I think it was like a 3-week break, so I know that when we had so many conquests back to back with previous conquests, it felt a little bit exhausting already by the time we got to Conquest 9, but with this little bit larger break between Conquest 10 and Conquest 11, hopefully things will be a little bit more fun. Thank you for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one, but until then have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you my friends.